Good morning, my classy people. It is Thursday. We're 2 days out from the Preakness Stakes for sure, and 1 day out from the Black Eye Susan down there at beautiful Baltimore, Maryland, a quarter mile to go at Pimlico. It looks like the weather's going to break, and the rain forecast has decided for Saturday. Still a 30% chance on Friday, but Saturday looks like Preakness Day, that there's no rain forecast. So hopefully the track dries out. It's supposed to be 85 degrees and beautiful. So let's keep our fingers crossed there for sure. And remember, tip sheets for both days. The Black Eye Susan card on Friday, the 16th, is $20, and of course Preakness Day is $20. If you buy both, you'll save $5. They're $35. Thanks everyone who has purchased them. Great way to support us. We just ask that you email us at SpeedKing24@yahoo.com, and or you text the office at 732-804-0637. Well, the girls are back in town for the Black Eye Susan. Well, the Black Eye Susan is for straight 3-year-olds, and you know I love filly racing. It is the last or next to last race on the card. Race number 13, Black Eye Susan, going a mile and 8 for 300,000. We have a full field of 9, and y'all already know that I love the number 8 horse in here at 4-1 of Marth, and the number 6 horse, who I believe is the speed of the race, the Godolphin runner, Paris Lily. I told you those are my 2 top picks. Now, I think the favorites in here are vulnerable. The number 3 horse, Margie's Intention, and the number 4 horse at 5-2, Running and Gunning. So I think the 3 and the 4, favorite and co-favorite respectfully, are vulnerable. And I just absolutely love the 8 horse in here, and the number 6, Paris Lily, who's 8-1 on the morning line, bred and owned by Godolphin, another homebred. So I'm happy with the 8 and the 6, the 6 and the 8. But I always like to put a long shot out there, right? Someone outside of the norm that has a sneaky chance of running big. So as of now, the 8 and the 6, the 6 and the 8 are going to be on all of my tickets. But my one long shot play that I think everyone should really at least use this horse underneath in their exactas and tries and superfectors. I'm going to give you my long shot sneaky play outside of my top 2 picks. The number 5 horse, right? This gal, Kinzie Queen, right? She's 10-1 on the morning line. I think this horse is going to drift up to about 15-1 because Steve Asmussen has the number 4 at 5-2. Brad Cox has the number 3 at 3-1. These horses are going to take a bunch of money, and then my 2 horses are going to take some money. But the number 5 horse, Kinzie Queen, who's my 3rd pick on my tip sheet, but I think this is a sneaky long shot. 10-1 on the morning line, but I think this horse is going to drift up to 15-1. Well, she's by Mackenzie. What a fine girl she is. On the back end by Mineshaft. Her breeding is beautiful to go the distance. Compton is our trainer of record, who's clicking at 20%, mostly in the Maryland area, and you got Junior Alvarado on the horse. This horse has 2 wins from 11 starts, 3 seconds, and 2/3, right? So again, 7 times in the money from 11 starts. But the thing that pointed her out to me, she has 11 starts, but it's her last race in an allowance race at Oaklawn Park where she just swooped by a field of 7 and came home with some very nice splits. Okay, I love that last 1/8 of a mile split for sure. It was like 12-1 or almost just a flat 12. I thought it was just a beautiful move, and that may have been the light bulb moment for Kinzie Queen, right? She's never run that fast. Now, if I had one knock on her, this is how well I think she's doing, is why they're bringing her back, is that she ran that race 20 days ago. I don't like that. You know I like 4 to 6 weeks. But I think she's done so well that they said we got to get her into one of these cards, and they chose the Black Eye Susan, which is interesting all in itself, right? Because this horse been in the fantasy against running and gunning back there on March 29th, the grade 2 fantasy. She ran 5th by 12 in a 9-horse field, probably almost beat half of them. And then she's been in a couple overnight stake races. If you look back at her 3rd and 4th start in her career, this horse was actually in maiden claiming races for 40,000 and 50,000. Was claimed from Steve Asmussen and Curtis Green right back there in November of last year, right? And she finally broke her maiden in a maiden claiming race on November 17th. And then they brought her back into an allowance race, ran into a stake race on December 29th, which was the year's end stakes, right? She ran not that great, but she finally figured it out, okay? This is an old Steve Asmussen horse, and I think this one might have finally figured it out. She's obviously bred beautifully by Kinzie, right? You don't have to end in mine shaft on the back end, but her last race is sneaky good, and they're turning her around in 20 days, okay? Shipping her out of Oaklawn Park into the Black Eye Susan. So her splits are beautiful. Her speed figures is one of the fastest in this field, along with the number 8 horse, Amarth, who I love, obviously. You know I love the 8 horse, and I love the 6 horse, right? Equally, right? And they're good value, too. The 8 is 4-1. The 6 is 8-1. You know, I love them 2 horses. But the sneaky horse, who's my long shot for the Black Eye Susan, thinking outside the box, who can upset the race when nobody's looking, I think it's Kinzie Queen. So now I'm forced to put her on all my pick 3s and pick 4s, right? Okay, well, again, I think the 2 favorites in here are vulnerable. That's why I think you're going to get at least a decent price in the win hole here. The favorite being Asmussen horse, running and gunning, by the way, who beat Kinzie Queen back there on March 29th. Running and gunning ran 3rd in the fantasy that day, and Kinzie Queen ran 5th by 12. But again, I just think it's going to be some value here. I mean, none of these fillies are world beater. None of them are Rachel Alexandra or Zenyatta, that's for sure. But again, I think this race is fairly evenly matched, y'all. So you may want to look for something just outside the realm. Like I said, I think the number 5, Kinzie Queen, will be my long shot play. I'm going to use her along with my top 2 picks, the number 8, Amarth, who I flat out love, and the number 6 horse, who I believe is the speed at 8-1, so you're getting good value there, right? Paris Lily, and it don't hurt that it's my people, Godolphin for sure. And you know, you got a great chance always on the lead there, and we have Joel Rosario in the arms on Paris Lily, so you know what that's all about. So my long shot play in this year's Black Eye Susan, right? Just thinking a little bit outside the box. Who could upset this race while nobody's looking? It's Kinzie Queen. I think she's 10-1 on her way to 15-1, and maybe even more than that. I think the biggest thing about this race, I think the 2 favorites are very, very vulnerable. The number 4 and the number 3 in this race, who's not on any of my top 2 or 3 picks. By no means. So, Kinzie Queen is a nice horse. I think will offer great long shot value in this race, for sure. My name is Wayne Bolden. I am your Speed King. There is my long shot play outside of my top 2 picks. Want to make it clear, I love the 8 horse Amarth. I love the 6 horse Paris Lily. But who's that outside horse? I think it's Kinzie Queen. So I'm forced to use the 8, 6, and my long shot play, Kinzie Queen, if there was an upsetter in this year's Black Eye Susan. It doesn't hurt that the horse is going to be 15-1 or better, I think. My long shot play, the number 5, Kinzie Queen. My name is Wayne Bolden. We know your name. I am your Speed King, of course. Stay classy, y'all. Take a peek at Kinzie Queen as an outside long shot. At worst case, if you're playing vertically, exactas and tries, you have to use her underneath, because she offers value, as well as the number 7 horse if you're playing underneath, because that horse would be running late too. Reply. That's Brittany Russell and Irad Ortiz, who's 8-1. But Kinzie Queen is my long shot. Go look at our video, who's our top 2 picks. Just head over heels about the 8 and the 6 horse. I think the favorites are so vulnerable in here. This is a definitely play against the favorites in this race. Mackenzie Queen, our outside long shot with a sneaky chance in this year's Black Eye Susan. My name is Wayne Bolden. I'm the Speed King. Get your orders in. Great way to support us, y'all. Email us at speedking24@yahoo.com. You hear my voice going? You can text the office at 732-804-0637 as well. Kinzie Queen, outside shot. Speed King's long shot in the Black Eye Susan. Stay classy, y'all. Have a great weekend and have some fun.